Hi again, it's Andrew. I'm going to share with you a video clip of me shoeing the front foot of this little Connemara, Holly. She's 36 years old, and it's a variation on just standard fitting of the Imprint Sport shoe. So the mare's conformation is such that she stands like with her toes out, her limbs pointing outwards, and as she walks, her outside toe hits the ground first, quite advanced from the inside, and so she lands outside, loads inside and towards the heel, and that twists her joint on every stride. So that needs to be accommodated or helped, not by trying to straighten the leg or anything like that, but by rolling the outside of the shoe and foot, keeping it as short as possible, and putting plenty of material around the inside so she doesn't fall off the side of her foot. It's a very common scenario. So this is how I'm showing you how we do it on Holly today. So I'm just trying up the shoe. It's an oval shoe and I want plenty of width at the heels. Those chronic laminatics often have a very tight heel. She naturally does anyway. So I'm fitting the shoe well wide, so I talk about fitting to the hairline. On this little clip here, I'm paring away some retained sole, because she's in dry, clean environment and she doesn't lose any sole, especially with a shoe on. So we trim that down as much as possible and left the inside as much depth as we can. And even that wasn't adequate, so we're using extra material, hoof repair material, to make up for the foot that she hasn't got where I believe she needs it. So the shoe and the plastic are in my container, pouring boiling water onto that. And whilst that shoe is heating and the rim softening, I put the ultra fast adhesive mixer tip on. Before putting the tip on, always check that both cartridges, both cylinders are discharging equally. We use very little of this. One cartridge would most likely do a pair of feet on like a pony like this. And then you've got your latex gloves on. Wet them when you've got them on, so you're not going to stick to the plastic. Don't use nitrile or all sorts of other marigolds or anything like that. So I wet my hands, make sure I'm just checking the rim was softened, and it is softened on the shoe. I'm taking it over to Holly because I'm doing a couple of things. The adhesive I'm putting in around the heels, around the heel quarter there, because I want to widen that foot. So I know it's not her actual foot, but it will give her a platform that she's not going to fall off. We don't want to be tight and short on these feet at all. So a little blob of plastic on the outside, that's just to give width, not depth. And on the inside, we're giving width, depth, and length. So it's sort of jacking up that bit that folds away down and holding it, it stops it folding inwards. And there'll be extra plastic I put on the frog plate also. You can just see towards the tip there. I'm holding her foot up because she's got softened plastic on there, firing some adhesive in. You see the amount of adhesive, and the plunger on there is not anywhere near, not even a quarter of the way used. A little bit of adhesive around there. Onto the foot. You can see a blob of plastic on the frog plate there. I'm just manipulating that there now. That serves contact to the frog right to its apex, because she was formerly a laminitic. If you've got a frog plate, it needs to be in contact with the frog. I'm modelling and moulding all the way around the edge of the shoe. I don't want to mess about with it too much, just massaging it in to become part of the foot. I'm just sweetening up the apex of that frog plate. Now that recedes in towards the sole, so it's not direct loading on the tip of that frog plate. That spatula I'm using there is just so I can smooth it to the foot. The more you do when the foot is, the plastic is soft, the better. After that we can do others modifying. So I'm putting extra, I'm filling in the gap there between the foot and the shoe as such, widening it out so as it becomes like a wide-heeled foot. This seems to work very well for Holly. I've been shoeing this little mare for quite a few years now. She doesn't have any hind shoes on, but this works a treat for her. Every 6 weeks, this is what we get up to. You see the frog plate has not been, the cleft in the frog plate is still open, so the shoe can expand and flex at the heel, which is important. So I've got a medial lift on this, and the lateral branch, the outside branch, will be beveling off. That'll come. Currently I'm just freezing off the shoe. And when that is hard, she can wait there. We can place the foot on the ground. What I'm doing here is I've taken the foot forward and I'm rasping and blending the imprint hoof repair to the hoof itself. So the shoe becomes hoof, hoof becomes shoe. It's all blended together, and they're flexible and light, these materials working together. So that's around the foot. There's still plenty of plastic there to hold this shoe in place. It's keyed into the foot. Now here we go. I'm beveling the toe off, shortening the breakover, but I'm rasping that lateral branch, beveling that off and thinning it to some degree. And the left fore I do even more so than this. It's critical I do that for this mare's comfort. To finish off, I put a bead of Imprint ultra fast adhesive around, and then with my spatula I will smooth off. So there's a smooth transition between the shoe rim and the hoof wall. Afterwards, when it is completely dry, you can go and polish it off or gloss it up with a little bit of heat and water. And here's Holly coming out, 36 years old, jogging. She tells us very quickly if she's not comfortable. Little tentative. Can't change the conformation, but you can make her comfortable. Thanks for watching.